Tonight, part of the Stillwater prison is still locked down after two corrections officers were assaulted over the weekend. Investigators say an inmate jumped in trying to stop the assault, but it was guards who had to break everything up. The Department of Corrections says it's still looking into what happened. And we've heard of these cases before. In fact, tomorrow, a former corrections officer who says his life was saved by an inmate will push for the release of that prisoner.
A man serving time for murdering his wife. Lou Raguse joins us with our top story tonight. Lou?
Randy, Lauren, it will be a difficult decision for the Board of Pardons, which is made up of Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and Supreme Court Chief Justice Natalie Hudson. Peter Schoen took one life and later saved another.
When I was attacked, I was knocked out. I was unconscious.
Guy Wicklander first shared his story on KARE 11 News in February 2000.
Severely wounded and unable to defend myself.
The story of how Wicklander, a corrections officer, was attacked by one inmate and his life saved by another.
But what happens when the hero is also a killer?
I didn't learn till later that it was Peter Schoen.
It was no decision, it was a reaction.
Peter Schoen, also interviewed in that KARE 11 story 24 years ago, was 4 years into his life sentence for murdering his wife Kimberly in their farm home in Truman, Minnesota. A brutal crime. He bludgeoned her with a pipe after she confronted him about an affair.
Came up over the top of his head.
But when another inmate began bashing Wicklander's head with a wrench in a workroom at Oak Park Heights Prison,
That I couldn't let this happen again, basically.
Schoen intervened and stopped the violence.
He didn't have to get involved.
When he recovered, Wicklander wasn't shy about giving Schoen the complicated label of hero.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I firmly believe in my heart that he was my guardian angel that day. And when I tell this story, people ask me, what did they do for the guy that helped you? Well, at this point, nothing.
So tomorrow, Wicklander will stand before the Minnesota Board of Pardons to tell his story again and ask them to consider reducing Schoen's sentence now that he's served 28 years in prison.
If Peter Schoen did this horrible crime and killed his wife and affected the rest of his family, and he saved your life, how do you put those things together and determine whether he should be released or not?
That's what makes it so difficult.
No easy answers at all, but
Schoen was well aware in 2000 of what he took away from his own family. Decades later, Wicklander feels acknowledgement is appropriate for Schoen saving his life.
Now, the family of the victim, Kim Schoen, made it clear to me that they and Peter Schoen's kids oppose his release. Schoen's hearing is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9. Randy.
All right, Lou, thank you.